Happy Tuesday training. Happy beginning of a month. Oh my goodness, we are officially in the first week of November, and you guys, we have already been setting the bar high. All right. So first and foremost, congratulations to those of you who are already getting those sales in. You've got your parties booked. You are working hard in your business. You are planning. You are setting those goals. This is the way. I am so excited. And you know that I'm going to talk to you, and I'm always going to remind you. Every single month we have our planning ahead document. Now it is pinned up in the featured here in the group. If you are not on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube and you're not in my group, then you can, of course, go to your workstation, click on the training tab, and this will be one of the very first things that pops up. I love to print mine. I print it every single month. It is a habit. It is something that I do all the time. Why? Because I need to be reminded of what I'm focusing on all throughout the month. So this gives me the dates of big releases that we know of, right? That we know of. We know that Scentsy is going to surprise us with new things and all kinds of, well, surprises that go along with what we already know. So we know that, we understand that, we look forward to that. So if you're planned and you're organized and you're working in systems in your business, then when they throw us that good news bone, then we are going to be ready to run with it, right? Right. Okay. So there's my shameless plug, as always, about planning ahead. I love organization in my business. It honestly is what keeps my business on track. It keeps me on track, and it helps me really focus in on the specific pieces of my business that I need to work on. Now, that goes without saying that every single month I kind of have the same two goals, okay? So those two goals are 2,000 PRV and sponsoring at least 2 new team members. Every single month, that is my goal. That is my first goal, right? So those two things. Everything else are added in goals or things that I'm working on, tweaking on, wanting to get better with, right? All of the above. And I think all of us are doing that. Whether or not you're trying to learn something new, maybe it's learning Canva or learning how to do something new within Canva. It might be trying a whole new system, right? So for me, boards is something that has completely changed the way that I run my business. Completely changed the game, okay? I love boards, and I have been working really hard behind the scenes, and I'm going to be releasing probably later this week. I don't know exactly what day I'll be done on, but I'm close. I'm close to being done of being able to give you guys specifically an entire board of resources. Okay, so this is something that you will be able to dive into when you need it, when you are looking for specific things, when you are wanting to, or if you are sponsoring new team members, what do you do as a new sponsor? How do you start onboarding those new team members? What should you be working on in your business if you're looking to promote? All of those things are going to be outlined for you. So all of that, like I said, I'm about this far away from being done with it. So never fear. I got you. I got you covered. You know that if you know me at all, or if you don't, hi. I wanted to say that I am invested in you. This has been one of my pieces of my Scentsy journey that I want to say I'm the most proud of, but I honestly have spent the most time and energy in just simply being a resource for others. I truly believe in the give more than you take when it comes to this business. I love connecting and networking with fellow consultants, right? Even outside of my group. But I want you guys to know that if you are in my group, if you are here within my family, then you know that I truly am here to help everyone. Okay, so know that you always have a resource, know that you always have places to go, and know that I am truly, because that is my passion, always looking for ways to step that piece up. Hence the reason I'm going to be dropping out the new boards content. Another piece of that reason, right before I dig into like the main meat of our training today, which is going to be over Instagram and Facebook tips. So those of you who've been asking, you're welcome. It is here. Another piece to that, though, is that algorithms and platforms change, right? Has anybody heard in the news, or has anybody noticed on Twitter that there's been a takeover, like there's a change in leadership? Okay. Now, that's just Twitter, right? That's Twitter. That's how it works. That's how it's going, right? Whatever. The same could always happen with Facebook. So I really want you guys to look at your business. Where does the bulk of your business lie? Is it lying in like a major social media platform like Facebook or Twitter? I mean, like for real, if we really sit down and think about it, we are dependent upon those algorithms, right? Whether we have a VIP group on Facebook or a business page or, you know, wherever you're at on social media, we are really there at the mercy, right? Hoping that everything that we've put together, when we had units in Facebook, but now they're guides, or are they guides now and they were units? I don't remember, right? So like all of these things change. All of these things change. So that is one of the reasons that I try and pull back from putting all of my resources on Facebook. Not to mention, one of the very most important facts is that not all of my team members or my customers are even using Facebook. I mean, just look at my Tuesday shout outs, right? When I go to tag people, they may not even be able to be tagged because they either are not on Facebook or they just don't have time or room or the energy, honestly, for another group to be in, right? They may be wanting or needing that comment or that content that we're giving them, but they just might not be able to fit it in, right? And I can say that because when I was working outside of the home and then doing my business, my Scentsy business, after those hours, right, I really couldn't, and honest to goodness, I didn't have the ability, I didn't have the kind of job to where I could check Facebook or even pull it up during the day. So if there was something going on that I needed to know, it was when I took a break or had like 2 extra minutes before a meeting started, that should have been an email, that I would pull up my workstation, and that's what I would look at, is pull up the workstation, look at the dashboard, and click on the news tab. That's honestly where I went, because I didn't have time to go down the rabbit hole on Facebook until I got home, got dinner started, got everything going, and then I could focus on my business. So being able to implement simple strategies is going to help you a lot. So if you are that person who you don't have time for Facebook, then I really want you to really take a good deep dive look at your business. What does it look like? Are you relying on Facebook just because that's what everybody else does? Okay, we have to change that mindset and that way of thinking. So boards is just one of the many ways that we can pull back off of Facebook. Now, am I saying don't have Facebook, don't have VIP groups, don't have a business page? Of course not. Hello, we live in 2022. So we have to have social media, right? We have to have that presence there. But at the same time, we're not going to put all of our eggs in that basket. That's the main takeaway. All right, so now that I've gotten all of that out, let's go ahead and let's dig into the meat of today. Like I said, I know a lot of you have been asking for this content, so I am super excited. I was really kind of holding off. I was going to do this last week, but I thought, no, I want to hold off just a little bit longer because I really wanted to have good, reliable content to give you. So here we go. All right. So you're looking for Facebook and Instagram tips. Here is what you need to know. All right, so let's start off with Facebook. I'm going to save Instagram because Instagram's my favorite place, but I want to save that because I've got a really huge announcement for you there. All right, so on Facebook, are you someone, I really want you to think about your business, okay? Now, most of us may or may not have a VIP group. Most of us may or may not have a business page on Facebook. And some of us may or may not be using our personal page for talking about our business, okay? I never really, you guys know my style, and the way that I like to really bring it down to you guys is to be sharing versus selling. So I don't care which one of those ways that you're sharing Scentsy, just be sharing it. Don't be selling it, okay? It's spammy, it's icky, and trust me, people are really, they might pay attention if it's something that they really want. Like, we launched our Snow White and the Mandalorian collections, right? So if maybe they were one of those people who's like, oh my gosh, Snow White is my person, then yeah, if you were doing a selling post, then they probably paid attention, right? But that's really alienating probably a good 80 to maybe even 90% of your client base, right? Because when you are in that mode of selling, then, like I said, most of us are not on social media to be sold to, right? We don't want to just scroll the feed just to see what we should be buying or telling us what to buy, right? We want to see, our customers really want to see, how are we uplifting our lives when it comes to fragrance? How is it making your day better because you changed your wax, right? Those are some of the things. And when you just first think about that question, you may think, well, whose day changes because you changed some wax? Here's the thing, right? It is a complete and total mindset shift. It is a mindset shift. The way that we set up our day, whether you're planning your day or organizing your day, right? Plotting it out. And then adding in those elements, okay? So if you are looking for more of a, I need to relax, I need to recharge, I need to reset, fragrance can be a big piece of that, right? Fragrance is one of our senses that is the closest tied to memories. This is the time of year where a lot of us have a lot of memories going on. Maybe it's remembering those times when we were younger, baking cookies with grandma or an aunt or your mother or father, right? All of those things come into play. So when we have collections like the buttercream collection, where we've got vanilla bean buttercream, we've got gingerbread, we've got caramel, and we've got candy cane buttercream, all those scents, right? Those are those scents that are probably going to remind those people of those memories. So that's specifically tied, right? Those are ways that we can share, and we can really help to find somebody, or find our customers who are looking to tie those memories in. It's true, right? Putting up the tree. Yes, you probably envision the Christmas tree, right? But do you envision and immerse yourself into that moment of, what does my house smell like when the tree is up and the fireplace is going and I've got family over? What does that whole scene look like? And what does it smell like? You may not think that that's one of the first things that people are thinking of, but honestly, it is what ties into those memories and creates and cements those memories in here, okay? And in here. So we want to be having conversations with that. So if you're not seeing engagement or views, whether or not that's in a VIP group, or a business page, or just regular Facebook, here's my first tip, and this may come as a shock, but I'm going to tell you right here and right now. Some of you may be relying on third-party programs like Visly or ScentShare, and I'm sure there's many others, to schedule out content and schedule out posts. Now, while that does all have a time and a place, because I don't believe that we should necessarily get rid of those things that are helping us work smarter, not harder. But if we focus on the fact of, well, I used to see when I would go into my VIP page and make a post that, 50 or 60 people would show that, 50 or 60 views were getting seen, right? Now, when I'm looking in my VIP, I'm seeing like 1 or 2 views on a post. And you may be sitting there thinking, what did I do differently? What did I do wrong? Okay, here's the thing. It's not necessarily you, first and foremost. It really all comes down to the algorithm. And a piece of that may be if you were using those shortcuts. those third-party applications. Here's the thing when it comes to Facebook. You need to be utilizing the tools that Facebook has already created for you. When you are utilizing those tools, such as just going on Facebook and scheduling a post, right? Using Facebook to make those scheduling posts, that is something that Facebook is going to perk up its ears and say, oh, look, I see over here that they are utilizing our scheduling post feature. We want to make sure that they're getting seen with that. So they're going to push that farther out into the algorithm, into the feeds of your people, okay? When you are utilizing the stories feature in Facebook, you can go into stories, really get interactive, okay? There's the stickers that you can click on where you can do polls, you can do the slider, you can do a question, you can do all of those things. If you are not using those things, you need to start using those things first and foremost, because again, that is what the algorithm, that is what Facebook wants to see. It wants to see its personal tools being used on the platform. And that's what it's going to be pushing forward. So stop using the shortcuts. Yes, I know. They are so much easier to sit down and just plug in a Visly code, right? And you've maybe gotten this code from like thousands of other people who are also using the same code, right? And so what does Facebook see? Facebook starts to flag that in its algorithm and flag it as spam. And so when it does that, it may not necessarily not show it, but it certainly is not going to push it out to the people who are following you. It just isn't. I'm sorry, but it's not. It's a hard truth that we just have to come to terms with. So like I said, there is a time and a place for those things, right? If you are doing a one-day Facebook event, then that is going to save you a whole bunch of time, okay? I personally don't like doing a long, drawn-out like Facebook event. I will tell you that I have found over trial and error that usually doing it as a one-day event is going to yield me the best results. And coming up in a close second is going to be a 2 to 3 day event. Like that is it. Right? That is it. If I find that I start stretching it past 3 days, I find that the engagement drops off. People aren't as excited. I'm not seeing as many views happening. Nobody's really commenting on those posts, right? It literally is dying off despite my best efforts. So those are just things that I'm noticing. Those are my personal tips. I'm just putting it out there. So use what Facebook gives you. Use their scheduling feature. You can do that in a group. You can do that on a business page, right? The only thing that you can't do currently is you cannot schedule from your personal page. So while that may be a little bit of a bummer, I honestly look at that as something that is good because it is what keeps me having that to do, right? It keeps me in focus of thinking, have I posted anything today? Have I shared anything about myself? Have I shared anything worth value, right? And really, how can I look for those things? I need to post those things. And you can post and you can schedule behind the scenes too. One of the ways that I do that is I use Trello, and then I will create images or things using Canva, and then I put that into my Trello board, and then I've got a list specifically for Facebook posts. And so that's kind of where I'm curating my content, right? I'm really refining it. I'm finding a really good picture or taking a really good picture. And then I'm really working on the copy, the words that I'm putting in onto that post, right? And then when it's time for me to use it, or it comes and it's like today and I'm like, oh gosh, I've got nothing to post on Facebook. Let me go to my contact or my content builder and let me pull from there. And what can I put out that would be relevant today or maybe catch some eyes today? So that's just one way that you can actually spend good time coming up with good content. Here's the thing, you guys. Posting just to post or the post and pray method is not going to get you far when it comes to social media. It just isn't. You have to really be intentional with what you are putting out there. So if it is a post about your wax or a new wax collection, right? Take the time, friends, take the time to really put out there. Don't just copy and paste for what somebody else put out there. Don't go on somebody else's group and be like, oh, I'm going to copy and paste the entire thing. That was fantastic what they said. Use it as inspiration. Use it because you have your own unique, authentic voice, right? You want people to hear you, not the other person who originally posted that. You just want to stand out. And if you are using those, here's a shared team post, or here's a post that you can use, and you are literally copying and pasting, remember that you are not the only one copying and pasting. There are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who are probably using the same copy paste and the same picture or graphic to go along with that. What does Facebook do? Ears up, it perks up its ears and it's saying, oh my gosh, look at all these people or all these users using the same caption, the same picture. This looks like spam. Okay, that's when that happens. That's when those engagements start pulling back. That's when the views stop pulling back. That's when Facebook starts pulling you out of the algorithm and pulling you out of the feeds of the people who you want to be in front of. So that is a way to get around that. All right, let's move on. When we're on Facebook or on any social media, honestly, but right now I'm talking about Facebook, you need to tie into what your audience wants. So first and foremost, the very first step is identify your audience. Are you looking for customers? Are you speaking to customers with this post? Or are you speaking and looking for potential new team members, people to join Scentsy and start a business, right? Is that what you're looking for? Are you looking to book parties? Are you looking for somebody who is wanting to earn those host rewards or that amazing host special we have going on this month, right? What is your immediate intention with the post? Okay, that's your very first thing. The next thing that you need to ask is put yourself into that viewpoint, okay? So if you're looking for customers, put your customer hat on and say, if I was a customer, what would stop my scroll? What would stop me from scrolling by this post? What do I want to see? Do I want to learn more about how to change my wax? Because maybe I've seen it a couple of times, but I don't really know how they really do that. Or are you talking to potential team members and wanting to share how easy this business is to work, where you can do it around your life and around your schedule, and ways that you do your samples and get those out, how you're not spending a fortune in postage trying to get out new releases or samples and thank you mail and all the other things, right? Look to see who your audience is, and then look to think about, what do they want to see? Give them value, give them something of substance, give them a tip, give them a piece of you, whether that's the quirky, funny person, whether that's the hot mess express, whether that's, I've got all the kids and here they are, right? Like, literally lean into who you are and what your life looks like. Because when you do that, more people are going to connect with you. They're going to connect with you regardless of what the post is, as long as it's coming from you. People know, like, and trust people on social media, and those are the people that they tend to follow, right? They tend to follow, they tend to trust them more, they tend to really get comfortable with them, and they'll either become a customer, maybe they'll become a team member, who knows, right? But that's really what you need to think about. So share tips, share frequently asked questions. If you're really looking to grow your business, again, look at those frequently asked questions from the viewpoint of someone thinking about joining Scentsy. What would be your first question if you went back to rewind the clock before you click that join button? What would one of your questions have been? How can you answer that? How can you share that? How can you show that in your social media? And the same thing goes with working behind the scenes, right? Give them a day in the life, right? What do you do? What does your business look like? And for everybody, it's going to look a little bit different, right? Because you may be somebody who's on the go. Maybe you've got kids involved in sports and activities, and you're just always running from here to there and here to there and here to there. And maybe you just work solely from your phone. Well, you have to start sharing that that concept. Don't hide behind it. Don't be ashamed of that, right? Because here's the thing. We're in 2022, and let me tell you right now that direct sales and working a business on your own schedule, that's what people are looking for right now. That's the world that we live in. So if you can bridge that gap from where they are to what they could be, then that's going to be what those people are going to want to see. Okay? All right. All right. So that's covering Facebook. And those are some of my tips for when it comes to Facebook. Let's move into Instagram. Oh, my Instagram. I absolutely love Instagram. It is my number one platform for many, many reasons. I love being creative on Instagram. I love finding inspiration on Instagram. I love following people who are going to pour into me on Instagram. Okay, do you get my drift? This is what I'm doing when I'm on Instagram. All right, here is some late breaking news directly from the source, from Adam Mosseri, and he has shared with us that finally our dreams have come true. We are going to be able to schedule posts on Instagram. Oh, I cannot tell you how flipping excited I am about this update. Oh my goodness. Okay. So right now they're rolling this out to professional accounts. I personally have a creator account, so I don't yet have it on my creator account, but trust me, I am going to be waiting and checking until it is released to me. But depending on your account, you may get it sooner, you may get it a little bit behind, but the scheduling on Instagram update has officially arrived. And like I said, I couldn't be happier about this. So here's how it works. So you're going to go on Instagram and you're going to create whatever post it is that you're going to create. Maybe that's a video, maybe it's a picture, whatever it looks like, right? You're going to create that. Just like you were if you were going to initially post it right now, right? So you're going to find your picture and you're going to put it up, and then you're going to have your caption. Maybe you've put some thought, hopefully, some thought and intention into that caption, right? You want to be able to give value. You want to be able to answer those questions. You want to be a resource for those people who are following you. So that's what you're pouring in. So you're going to go in there, you're going to create your post. Then before you actually hit the share button, right? So before you get to that, you want to go down to the bottom and you will see advanced settings. All right. When you click on advanced settings, it's going to open up those new settings, and you're going to see at the very top, there will be a toggle button, and you'll see all the other toggle buttons, but you'll see a new one and it will say tap or schedule this post. And it'll just have a toggle button. So toggle it off, toggle it on. If you toggle it on, then it's going to pull up a date selector. Here's the amazing thing. You are going to be able to schedule Instagram posts for up to 75 days in advance. Shut the front door. 75 days in advance? Are you kidding me? That is over 2 months of content. You're telling me that I can batch and I can schedule. I can put thought and intention into what I'm going to be posting. I can look forward to, by using my planning ahead document, to really figure out, where is my content going? What do I want to really show when I am out there, right? So you're going to be able to put time, effort, and energy and intention into what you're going to be posting. And so all you're going to do is you're going to put all that in. You're going to set your day that you want it to post, and then you're going to tap the schedule button. And what it's going to do is it's going to throw you into the schedule, and it's going to wait until whatever date you've selected to then push it out. I cannot be any happier about this update. Now, when you're on your profile, maybe you've done a big batch of content. Maybe you've scheduled your first one, but you're like, oh my gosh, I need to relook at that. Did I misspell anything? Did I leave out a word? Should I add more hashtags? What should I do? You can edit that by going to your profile and then clicking on menu, and then you'll see an edit. Okay, so you'll be able to go back and edit anything that you already have scheduled. So an amazing new feature that for people like me, I'm not going to lie, for the last probably 13 years, I have been literally waiting and begging for this feature. Okay. I am super excited about that. So scheduling on Instagram is now going to be available. Now, take that concept and apply it to what I talked about with Facebook, right? Remember, if you're using Facebook options and the tools that they give you, what's going to happen? They're going to push that content out more. What's going to happen on Instagram if you're scheduling posts and using those features? They're going to push your content out more, right? You're going to get more views because it's going to see, oh my gosh, they're staying within our app. They're using the services and the tools that we're giving them, and they are moving forward, right? And so therefore it's going to push it into feeds, especially if you're doing posts where you're using those engagement pieces, right? Like doing a poll or adding music, trending music, right? So look for the trending music. You find that by doing the little, not up arrow, but the, northwest arrow. I don't know. It's up there, right? So the arrow that kind of points a little bit up. So that's how you're going to find your trending audio. Put trending audio to it. You can, of course, then go back in, like I said, use some of those other features. Don't get stuck on the same feature, though. Don't fall into that trap, because while it's very easy to go in and say, okay, I want to start using the poll feature, that doesn't mean that every single thing that you post needs to have a poll on it, okay? Spread out the love and spread out the fun. And so don't make it all look the same, right? Now, of course, you want to stay to your branding or your niche, wherever you're at, but at the same time, you want to be giving value and added content with what you're putting out there. That's where that piece of really taking the time to put intention behind what you're scheduling, what you're going to be putting out is going to come into play. All right. Now, let's move over to another feature that, yes, I've been waiting for, and I've gotten it in little baby bits and pieces along the way, but Instagram.com. So you can utilize the desktop version of Instagram, and you now have far more options when it comes to posting on the desktop version. This is something, again, I have been waiting for a very long time. I remember when I would pull up the desktop version and I couldn't even put a post up, right? Like I would look and be like, oh, it'd be so much easier if I could just do it this way, right? Maybe if I was batching content that day, it was like, oh, it'd be much easier if I could just type it all up and have it ready to go. What I was doing as a workaround, what I still do and what I'm going to be able to now start deleting out is either utilizing Trello, which is where I kind of do my business building and my planning, right? And putting that content there. But I also use the notes section of my phone a lot. And I am somebody who is Apple. I am Team Apple. So I'm sorry for the droids, but I'm sure you have something similar. However, I use the notes feature. So specifically when I'm in my office here, I'm working on the computer. I like to be able to pull up the notes, type out what I want to type, and have that content ready to go. So then I can pull it and copy and paste it if I'm working from my phone later on, right? Now I'm going to be able to do that and schedule posts. I'm going to be able to type new things up. I have far more options in actually working within Instagram on the desktop. So it's going to be a wider view. It's going to show more options. You're going to have more accessibility. Very excited about that piece of it. All right. Now, another thing is I'm going to kind of tie all of this up together, right? Okay. I did talk about using trending music or using, polls and GIFs and different things, right? So specifically when you're doing stories, things like that, you want to be utilizing those tools. But what you really need to know, if you are looking to build engagement, if you're looking to build your views when it comes to Facebook and Instagram, then what I do every single month is at the end of the month, I do a self-audit. I do a self-audit when it comes to my business. So how did my business do? I look at my sales, I look at my sponsoring, I look at my team members, how were they performing? What content was I giving them? I'm looking at all of my marketing. I'm looking at all the things, right? So there's different chunks that I take and I look at. One of the things that I make sure to do, because social media is one of the ways that my business grows and I've built my business, so it's important, I do a self-audit by going in and looking at the insights of how did my posts or how were my content pieces working in real time, right? So you can do this on Facebook, you can do this on Instagram, right? You can go into the insights and you can look. Go in there and look to see over the last 30 days, what were the most popular posts? Or if you do reels, hopefully you're doing reels. Hopefully you're doing reels. They're not going away, friends. They don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be synced to music or audio. Just start making, start creating, start having fun. All right. I'm off my soapbox. But you need to look at your insights. So what were the most performing ones, right? What were the ones that got the most views? What were the ones that got the most comments? The same thing goes for any other social media platform you're on, okay? Whether that's YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. You can look to see in those insights what is performing the best. So a lot of the content that I do, I like to be able to give tips. I like to give motivation. I like to do different things like that, right? And so I look back to see what was my top performing or my top 10 performing posts that I did in the last 30 days. And when I look at those, I'm looking at it from two different angles. One, the video or the picture or graphic, whatever it was, right, that I used. What was it? Was it eye-catching? Was that what stopped their scroll? Was it the use of my hashtags? Am I finding that because when you look in your insights, you can see the people who are following you, and then it will also show you non-followers. You know that you're getting the non-followers from hashtags, right? Please tell me you know this. Please tell me you know this. Or keywords, okay? So you need to be utilizing keywords, hashtags. Those are the things that are going to get your content out to new eyeballs out there on social media. So look at those insights. What was driving those? And maybe it's the content itself. Maybe you found that one of your most watched reels was you being silly with the kids or baking cookies with the kids, and that just got you the most likes. Okay, that's telling you, or that should be telling you, one of two things. That your people who are following you want to see more real life or behind the scenes content. They want to get to know you. Or you're reaching a different subset of an audience. And when you know that audience, you need to give that audience what it wants, right? So feed the beast, so to speak. Feed what is wanted by your followers. Give more of that content. And so you may have to start looking at your strategy a little bit differently when you're planning for that new content, right? When you're looking to see what do they want to see? They want to see more me behind the scenes, or they really liked it when I shared how I did my happy mail, or they really loved it when I showed me changing my wax. That one got so many views. Whatever it is, that's what you need to look at. So you want to repeat what is getting you the biggest return of investment of your time. Okay? So really look at the insights. Look back for the last 30 days on those things. Now, I am going to be sharing some self-audit documents so you guys can look at these as we come upon and as we move forward towards the end of the month, because starting the end of this month, I'm going to be putting that all out there. And I want you guys to be able to really utilize these things to really take a look at you in your business, what you're doing, how's it working, how's it not working? What do you need to edit out? What do you need to pivot? How can you change? What do you need to start doing better? All of those things are going to be answered if you are being intentional with what you're putting out there, if you are giving your audience what they want, and if you're looking at the insights. That is going to be your social media strategy. All right, that is what I have for you guys this week. Again, I was so excited to be able to share these updates and these new things coming out. I hope that you love them. Drop down in the comments and let me know, what is the biggest thing that you're looking forward to? What was your biggest eye-opening aha moment from this today? What did you find the best? So let me know and we can expand upon that and have a conversation. All right, guys, I will see you soon. Bye.